drug boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific carrying drugs headed to the United States to poison the American people. We're not playing the whole catch and release game anymore. These are foreign terrorist organizations, the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere, and we will sink every drug boat headed in our direction.
Oh, he's a big, tough alpha man, and he needs to be. After all, we're at war. We keep being told we're at war, even though the other side hasn't fired a single shot as far as I can see. And I think it's ridiculous to call it a war. I think that serious scholars think it's ridiculous to call it a war. But importantly, he has called it a war. They present this as a military conflict, and that's why what they're doing is okay. War crimes set to the side. But the fact that they are calling it an armed conflict actually makes some of the other stuff they've done recently way more significant, unacceptable under any cases. But if we are to believe that we are in some sort of war against the cartels, then take a look at what they did recently. New reporting says the Pentagon used a secret aircraft painted to look like a civilian plane in its first attack on a boat that the Trump administration said was smuggling drugs, killing 11 people last September. The aircraft also carried its munitions inside the fuselage rather than visibly under its wings. Now, briefly, let me just say, it's insane that it has taken us like 5 months to find this out, but that's what they did. They didn't fly one of our regular military planes. They made it look as if it was a civilian plane and then opened fire, killing a bunch of people. And that is actually really bad and really unacceptable and has always been known to be so. The non-military appearance is significant according to legal specialists because the administration has argued its lethal boat attacks are lawful. They're not just murdering these people because President Trump determined that the United States is in an armed conflict with drug cartels. The laws of armed conflict prohibit combatants from feigning civilian status to fool adversaries into dropping their guard, then attacking and killing them. That is a war crime called perfidy. So the idea is you are not allowed to pretend to be civilians and then start murdering people. And I understand there will be MAGA chuds that are like, well, in war, anything goes. No, you dumbasses, we're not doing this just because we care so much about the other side. We abide by this because we don't want the other sides to do it to us. It's the same reason that we don't murder prisoners that we've taken. It's the same reason that we don't torture. I mean, we do all of those things, but we're not supposed to because we don't want the other side to do it to our soldiers, to our airmen and sailors. We're doing it to protect ourselves, except we're not doing it anymore. And so when the other side starts doing it, whether it's cartels, whether it's Russia at some point that we get in a shooting war with, or whether China, we're picking fights all over the place. We might be at war with NATO at some point. Can we trust that they won't do this same thing to us? Not as much as we could have a year ago, because under Pete Hegseth, anything goes, and anything more often than not is war crimes. Not like hypothetically, maybe it's a war crime. No, the most obvious and stereotypical, well-established historic war crimes they're doing frequently. By the way, we have charged opponents for this exact same thing in the past. So we charged a Guantanamo detainee before a military commission with that offense over Al-Qaeda's 2000 attack on the USS Cole, in which militants in a small boat floated a hidden bomb up to the side of the warship while waving in a friendly manner. We said at that point, my God, Al-Qaeda's so grotesque that they would do something like this. Pete Hegseth was taking notes and doing the exact same thing. And so again, we put ourselves at risk. We don't put Pete Hegseth at risk. He's never gonna be within 1,000 miles of a bomb going off or a bullet being fired. But actual soldiers, the actual alphas that we require to do these sorts of missions, their lives are gonna be more at risk because of Pete Hegseth. And why, by the way? With the $1 trillion military we have, you couldn't take out the boat without hiding the plane? They can't even see the planes we have. They fly. We could fire cruise missiles. We could take them out with submarines. We spent $1 trillion and we can't get close to a goddamn speedboat without acting like Al-Qaeda terrorists to do it. Again, add this to the list of utterly pathetic and humiliating things about Pete Hegseth. The fact that he can't take any prisoners. He can't seize a single boat. He's so terrified that he'll fail. We have to bomb them from far away. And now we can't even do it with our actual fighters, our actual bombers, our actual cruise missiles, our actual ships. The $1 trillion every year that we pay for this is not enough for us to act like an actual modern, confident military. Under Pete Hegseth, we get the same sort of ridiculous, pathetic, submissive, weird, slinking around, rats in the dark military that we have as military leadership at the same time.